Hey everyone, welcome back to the 2-hour news show, and this is our signature segment, See the Stories, and you may have heard about this. It's probably hard to escape if you have social media, but Indonesia has finally confirmed to make it to the playoff rounds of the World Cup Asian qualifiers after a 1-0 victory against China yesterday.
Yes, Paul, we are in great spirit indeed because that win has generated considerable attention from abroad too. And now joining us in our studio is a supporter who flew all the way from London, United Kingdom, to Jakarta to see the match at the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium just last night. British content creator Waseem Khan. Ooh, welcome back.
Terima kasih, thank you so much, thank you so much. Terima kasih, terima kasih.
Let me, for your sake, let me put this. I know
There
you're a big
you go.
Timnas fan. So
Let's go.
And you got your red and white as well.
Representing.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about this time, last night, in the stadium. How was it? Tell us in words.
You know, I feel like every time I come here, I use the same sort of words, but the main word is like magical. Timnas Day, that walk up to the stadium, but it's just the energy. Like I always say, Indonesian people, just in general, very warm, very hospitable. And when you combine that with sport and your team's actually doing well and they're improving, the euphoria is special. And I think there's also the magic that Indonesia have never qualified for a World Cup. We're in uncharted territory. So that energy now like is building and building and building. Yesterday was special. I think there's a new excitement, new coach. There's a lot of new players. We're winning.
Did you see a difference? Because you were here for the Bahrain match, the previous match. At that time, the coach and the team were still quite new. They were the first 2 matches together. They've had some time since. What did you notice that was different yesterday?
I think we controlled the game a lot more. I think the Bahrain game was a bit nerve-wracking because we lost Australia. So we're coming off a 4-0
really bad
change
loss.
of coach.
Yeah.
But I think Bahrain game, I still think was a bit shaky, still very new. But yesterday it felt like there was finally a bit more control.
There's confidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially from the defense. I think our defense and the foundations, very solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the vibe was all around. It can be felt. There was a lot of nervous energy from the crowd in the Bahrain game. I felt like yesterday was more celebratory. It was like, yes, we really had to win, but everybody was already in good spirits prior to the match, and I think that actually transferred. Now, speaking of good spirits, you are in such good spirits and you travel all the way halfway across the world. First of all, for those that aren't familiar, because your content actually gets so many views and I guess have become kind of like this viral thing, especially among Indonesians. What first actually got this started and what keeps you going in order for you to keep traveling all this way just to watch timnas play at Gelora
It's
Bung Karno?
such an infectious bug that I never planned for any of it to happen.
Right.
I didn't know if I wanted to be a content creator. I'd always heard about Indonesia. And I think it was going on 3 years ago. I came here with the intention of, I need a vacation, but I've got this smartphone, let me put it to use. And I tried it. I tried this content creation stuff in Indo, and I was like, I feel a bit cringe. You know, I'm looking at my phone, people are looking at me. This is uncharted territory.
Very tall too. You're sticking out
Exactly
like a
right,
sore thumb.
especially in Indo, right? And then I was like, I don't really know if I like it. You know, I've always been raised to be like, keep your life private, don't go on the internet too much. I'm from that generation. And then I remember it was Ramadan 3 years ago. I was in Istiqlal, and I was like, this content stuff, I don't really know if I like it. I think I'm gonna stop. It's been a nice try. And I just made a prayer, and I was like, you know, Allah, if this is for me, give me a sign. And then that video that I made that day got 1 million views. And I was like, whoa, like instant gratification.
Right.
Did you remember what video that was?
Yeah, it was like my first Ramadan in Jakarta. And I remember seeing the views and I was like, whoa, 1 million. Like, I'm fanboying a bit, like, is this real? You know? And then I think from there, I just became more addicted to Indonesia. Like, I always say this, growing up in the West, there's a lot of benefits, but I would say the Indonesian warmth of hospitality, embrace, family, smiling, it's something that sometimes I think we take for granted.
We definitely take that for granted.
Right?
Yes, I agree.
And I think when I came here, I was like, I feel like I can chill a bit, but that energy of the people, for me, is so infectious.
Right.
So when I tried to find the balance with like work, 9 to 5, hustling, I'm like, there's a pocket where I can escape and experience that warmth and make content and be creative, then why not? And I'm a football fan. by default, right? And I think one of the most appealing things about Indonesia was when I was growing up, we used to live 5 minutes from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I used to hear them cheering. I used to be like, Mum, can we go? She's like, football's dangerous. Like, there's like hooligans.
Yes.
And, you know, at that time, maybe it was a bit racist.
Yes.
So she was like, and as a kid, I never understood it. I was like, the stadium's there, I can hear it, like, let me go. So I think when I came to Indonesia and I saw the demographic, like families, couples, like women, children, I was like, this is for everyone. Like, this is what I thought football should have been when I was a kid.
Right.
So I'm so passionate about telling that story because I think, like many things, people put a box on stuff, and I think football historically, men's game, the woman stays at home, the boys go out. And when I see kids and like complete families cheering for their team, I think there's something so heartwarming, and I really want the world to learn. I always say this, like, I think the world can really learn a lot from Indonesia.
Yeah, and I think this is why in the videos you have about timnas, or football team, you actually spend a lot of time talking to people outside of the stadium. You do prayers with them. I think that's part of the experience, that one of my favorite parts of the video.
Thank you.
Yes. And we can also see the snippets on the screen right now. You're interacting with little kids outside the
Yeah.
stadium. So tell us a little bit about this interaction with the kids here. This was just the other day, right?
Yeah. This is, wow, you guys are fast. This is the video that we released maybe 4 hours ago. And Timnas Day, you never know what surprises you're gonna get.
Okay.
As we left our apartment, there was 5 kids that were jumping in a lake, a river.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, like, all right, but the city boys, like, I was loving the energy. And I was like, like, predictions.
Yes.
And they're like having a swim, they're like loving life, maybe about like 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
But even they had the Timnas bug. And I was like, just having that exchange and having that energy as my first experience on Timnas Day, like, today's gonna be a good day. But that's the thing, you never know who's gonna give you that vibe. It might be some kids that are just having fun, some street sellers. But this video, like, Jakarta's hot. Like, I think this is the thing, it's like jet lag, the heat, and I always want to capture the essence of Timnas Day. So it's a long day. I haven't slept since yesterday, trying to produce this. But yeah, I'm really happy with it.
I always tell people, because somebody introduced me to watching like the national team at the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium, and I always explain it to others that have not had that experience, is that you won't understand unless you actually go.
True.
How many connections you can make just with random strangers walking around the stadium. I can walk around the stadium twice and I've made 20 random connections. I'm sure you feel the same way. I've seen exactly the way you connect with people. They start asking you, what do you think? What's the score going to be? It's just random conversations that you have, but then you end up getting, especially in the social media area, you make these connections online and then people start following you and then you end up DMing with them. So again, this journey is not over, although now we've locked our spot for the playoff round. We still have one more match. Now, this is going to be, everyone's called this the final boss because it's Japan. It's at the top of the group, but they are actually not going to be, playing with their main lineup that they usually play. My first question, part of the question: will you be traveling to Japan to catch up with their final group stage match?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
In Osaka.
I was gonna fly today,
right?
But then I was like, let me come here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna fly tomorrow.
Oh, thank you for that. You're saying one day.
It's all right, my pleasure.
Oh, wow. So you're going to go to Osaka. So tell us what you have expected for this final match, because this is going to be a tough match, but our team is getting better, like you said. What are your expectations in Japan?
I always have to be mindful because I think I'm so invested in this Timnas fairy tale that like my heart takes over. If there was a time to play Japan, it would be now.
Exactly.
I think they've qualified, they've picked a less stronger squad, which is still very strong by Japan standards, right? But I think we have momentum. I think if we go there, I think we can nick 1-0 win.
Really? Okay.
I think if there's a time where it's possible, it's now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
I'll say if we can come out with a 0-0 draw, I'll be happy. Sarah,
fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Maybe a 2-0 for you, score prediction?
Absolutely, anything.
There you go.
Prayers on this day of Idul Adha, right? On this day of prayers, let's pray for that.
Go
for the best for our Timnas right here.
Yes, sure.
And speaking of, because you said you will be flying out tomorrow, and this is time for celebrations, right? This is also a day of celebrating Idul Adha.
It's supposed to be a day off for you.
Yes, and you should probably be also in the UK with your family, but now you're here with your second family, right? Indonesia. But tell us about the celebrations in the United Kingdom, especially with Idul Adha, because of course there is also quite a number of Muslim population there as well. And of course, and Said Khan is also, the mayor is also Muslim. Tell us more about that.
I think one thing that's magical about London, it's a melting pot of so many different cultures, and I think that for me is the greatest thing about being a Londoner. And I think for Eid al-Adha or Eid al-Fitri, you really see a togetherness and a merging of cultures, because like London is so diverse. And you know, for instance, with Muslims in London, you know, you have like Senegalese, you have Tunisians, there's a lot of people that are reverting to Islam. So it doesn't have a look. So if you celebrate Eid, you'll go to the masjid, and the food that's there, you might have like some samosas, but then you might have some jerk chicken. So it's a real fusion, and I think that just embodies London, and that's what I think really elevates that sort of togetherness during this time.
I feel the same way. In Toronto, it's like Muslim friends, but it's not the Muslims I know. It's not like the Asian, the East Asian, but it's like, they go to West Indian.
True.
And South. So
they normally say that like Toronto's the cousin of London.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, similar migration
I hear that word a lot,
people.
melting pot.
Melting
That's
pot.
the word we used to describe as well. There you go. So what dishes would be served in your area in particular?
A lot of like biryani.
Okay, nice.
A lot
Love
of rice
that,
dishes
yes.
for me.
Okay.
Turkish kebabs.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a like kind of a wide range of variety of food.
A lot of Arabic food.
Oh, nice.
Syrian, Lebanese, Iraqi, like,
Oh,
Is there a like large Indonesian population that you know of there?
I think since I started doing content, I've discovered a lot
Now
more.
you're starting to know some of them.
True. But when I was growing up, I didn't know any
Yeah, me neither.
Indonesians.
Not in
Yeah.
Not in the east part of Canada.
oh, there you go. And since we're still speaking about dishes, have you tried any of our dishes for celebrations?
Nasi goreng.
Nasi goreng. No, that's not.
Celebration food.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, is that a celebration?
Well, no, I would say satay. Have you had satay?
Satay ayam?
Satay ayam.
Yeah.
Gulay, opor, those things.
Is gulay golden rice?
No, it's actually like a coconut milk
Curry.
stew kind of curry with. No?
But that sounds
Okay.
nice though.
Rendang? Have you tried rendang?
Not yet.
Oh my goodness.
There
Okay.
you go.
All right.
You're in
Perfect
for a
time to be
treat.
here.
Yes, Paul, and also Waseem, I'm here because I have with me a tray filled with a feast, which we
All right.
usually eat for celebrations. You may
Oh,
take
you're
a
going to
seat.
serve us. Okay.
Well,
perfect.
thank you.
There you go. I remember last time you came here, you tried our instant noodles and you loved it, remember?
I do.
And now
Great
this
memory.
is what we usually eat during Eid
Okay.
celebrations here.
So break it down for us. What have we got?
Right
Sarah?
here.
So start with this.
This is ketupat. We call it ketupat.
Ketupat.
It's rice cakes.
Okay.
Usually it's diamond shaped.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we have a picture.
Yes.
Usually there's graphics of it. So it looks almost like a cube, is it? But like a diamond.
Diamond, yes.
Yeah, and it's like banana leaves but weaved.
Coconut leaves, actually.
Coconut leaves. Yeah,
yes.
it's weaved. Have you
And-
seen that before? No? Okay.
And then you cut them open, you slice into little pieces, and there you go. These little rice cakes are called ketupat.
So it's actually formed in one, and then you just kind of cut it in a grid.
Okay, so it's not like rice molded.
It is. It's
right?
it's rice,
Yes.
but how is it cooked? Because I'm not really sure.
Because it's more, you have more water than rice, and then you
and
then
you
you put
pack
it
it
in water.
in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
So
There's techniques.
So
there's
it's
craft.
basically a rice cake. Yeah, it's soft.
Okay.
And then move on to the brown.
this is the brown dish, which of course Paul has mentioned you have to try.
Yeah.
It's rendang,
And beef.
Beef.
Yeah, beef.
and this, Paul, the
This-
highlight.
What is this? The gulay. So gulay is also, so both of these dishes actually have coconut milk,
Yes.
correct? Because coconut milk is generally, I don't know why, but it's used a lot in like Eid al-Fitri or
Yes.
Idul Adha dishes as well. Is this chicken?
It is chicken.
It is chicken. So it's generally it's made gulay ayam or chicken gulay. So there we go. Dig in. Help
Terima
yourself.
kasih.
This is actually for you. So
Thank you so much.
help yourself to one of each, and we want to get like your opinion.
Okay. I don't want to upset any cultural.
No, just grab it.
What's the
Just
drink?
dig in. No,
Dig
there's
in? Okay.
Put everything in.
I know you're very polite when it comes to like just put it
Okay.
as much as you want, as little as
Okay.
you want, and yeah.
There's no right way of eating it.
Okay. So this is actually now. I think Sarah might know a little bit more on how to explain this. Rendang is actually one of the a dish that from Indonesia that has been recognized most internationally. Correct?
Yes. One, if I'm not mistaken, one of the best dishes in the world. If not
It
the
was
best
like they did like a
dish.
top
Yes.
10 world dishes, and one of the top 10 dishes was from Indonesia.
I can
What's
see
that?
why, but there's a bit of spice in this, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
Give me
So
the
how do you-
flavor.
Yeah.
It's hot, but the flavor is insane.
Okay.
This is delicious, but
and the time to cook it because, as you can see, it's not only made with from
Slow
coconut
cooked,
milk,
right?
it's slow cooked with all these herbs. So it's like a special dish.
Would you say this is the #1 national dish in Indo?
What?
Would you say this is the #1 national dish?
Yes, well, it depends.
Okay.
Right?
Different regions.
Different regions, different. But I think because it won first place, it's
Sitting at top.
Yeah, there you
This
go.
one I'll serve for you because generally we serve it like this. So that's chicken, and then you kind of have to.
Let it soak in the sauce.
Yeah, just kind of. Because generally when you have these rice cakes, you pour some kind of sauce, and there's different kinds. There's this gulay, there's the opor, which is also a form of chicken kind of with sauce,
Yes,
right? Yeah, but
the
it's more of a whiter
white, yes.
sauce as well. So
It's a little bit spicy for this gulay, and for the opor, usually the kids like it. They prefer it.
you know,
the
I'll be
opor.
honest. I've lived here for almost 25 years now. I didn't notice that rendang was spicy until you reminded me.
Really?
Yeah, but I used to. I used to be exactly like you. Like, whoa, this has got some kick. Yeah. So it'll take a little to get used to, but I think it's. I don't think it's going to be that spicy. Okay, so that's the chicken, and there you go. That's. These are two of the general kind of more main kind of.
So
dishes.
how's the kick?
Kick was a bit more subtle on this one.
Yes.
That one was a bit more.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, this is generally what we have.
I think the rendang is elite.
Yeah.
Yo,
See?
okay.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
elite. I can see why it's #1.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
foreigners, for some reason, like the first thing they take to is the rendang, nasi goreng. Those are like the favorite.
How long does it take to cook? Like when we say
Actually,
slow cooked, how long?
I have a
It
theory about
depends.
this.
Okay. Well, at my house, probably for almost a whole day.
Yes.
We dedicate like a whole day to cook rendang.
So the longer you cook, the better it is.
Yes.
Really?
'Cause when it comes to beef, so things that are beef dishes based, the longer you cook it, the kind of more
Patience, right?
it comes
Yes.
apart. You know, a little easier as well. Now these are some of the dishes, and as you can see, there's a bit of a common denominator to all this, which is like coconut milk.
True.
And then we generally have this thing where when we go to families' homes for a holiday, we overeat on these things, and we sometimes take a little nap on the sofa. You can see why, right? We get like the heavy rice and the sauces and everything. So there you go. It's a little kind of treat for the holidays because you took some time to join us for this.
Terima kasih ya bangku.
Terima kasih for
terima
coming.
kasih.
Now you got the full Eid experience with the rendang and the ketupat.
Right.
That was incredible. Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, always glad to have you on. Real quick before we get you to go, is your hopes and what you think our chances are of making the 2026 World Cup?
I think my heart's too invested.
For us to say otherwise.
Yeah,
Me
true.
too.
I think
It's not fair to
I
ask.
think we'll make it, and I think I want it for the Indonesian people. I think the supporters are incredible. The people are amazing, so I want to see them on the global scale.
Awesome. And I feel the same way. I feel like I don't think I could ever say we're not going to
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
I know the chance is slim, but any chance that we have, we'll take it.
True.
There you go. Waseem, thank you so much for coming
you
by.
for
Have fun in
coming.
Japan.
Thank you so much.
And all the best. Hope we come out with a win.
Amazing, let's go.
All right, we're going to take another short break here. That was See the Stories. We'll be back with more updates on the 2-hour news show only on See Today.